"Get your incompetent ass off my bridge." Admiral Marcus Hargrove's roar echoes across the USS Resolute's command deck, his face contorted with rage as he shoves Commander Aisha Carter toward the bulkhead. Her lip splits, blood trickling down her chin, but her eyes blaze with unyielding resolve. The crew freezes, their silence deafening as Hargrove rips the badge from her uniform and crushes it under his boot. "Diversity hires like you are a danger to this ship," he spits, his voice carrying the weight of years of unchecked prejudice. Carter stands tall, her gaze locked on his, betraying no fear. In less than 24 hours, her hidden code will be the only shield between the carrier and a catastrophic missile strike. 3 days earlier, Commander Aisha Carter steps aboard the USS Resolute, the Navy's most advanced aircraft carrier, its steel hull gleaming under the morning sun. Her boots clang on the gangway, her service record a beacon of excellence. Stanford PhD in artificial intelligence, top of her Naval Academy class, and the architect of the revolutionary Aegis II missile defense system. From the bridge, Admiral Hargrove watches her arrival, his expression sour. "That's our new systems." "Officer?" he asks, voice laced with disdain. "Yes, sir," replies Commander Elena Ruiz, his executive officer. "Commander Carter's credentials are unmatched in the fleet." "Paper credentials don't win wars," Hargrove mutters, turning away. "Let's see if she can handle the real thing," Carter reports to the bridge, standing at perfect attention, her hand extended. Hargrove ignores it. "This is a combat vessel, Commander," he says coldly. "No room for errors or special treatment." "None expected, sir," Carter responds, her voice steady, her posture unyielding. In the officers' mess later, Carter feels the weight of stares. Conversations hush as she approaches, and she eats alone, sensing the crew's unease. Lieutenant Jamal Pierce, a junior officer, joins her. "It's not personal," he whispers. "The Admiral's got traditional ideas about who belongs in critical roles." Carter nods. "I've faced worse. My work will speak for itself." In his quarters, Hargrove flips through Carter's file, his scowl deepening with each achievement. Classified Pentagon projects, commendations for her AI-driven algorithms, a dissertation that redefined naval defense strategy. "Find me something," he orders Ruiz. "Nobody's this clean, especially not one of them." "Sir, her record is flawless," Ruiz says, hesitant. "No infractions, no weaknesses." "Then we'll create some." Hargrove replies with a thin smile. "Keep her out of key briefings, assign her to data entry. Let's see how long she holds up." In her quarters, Carter unpacks, placing a photo of her family on her desk, a reminder of the stakes. Her phone buzzes with a text from Admiral Vanessa Langston, her mentor. "They're testing your strength, not just your skills. Stay sharp." Carter exhales, steeling herself. She's navigated bias before. This is just another challenge. The next morning at 500, alarms blare, signaling a missile defense drill. Carter is out of her bunk in seconds, sprinting to the command center. She arrives just behind Hargrove and Ruiz, only to be met with a glare. "You weren't called, Commander," Hargrove snaps. "Protocol mandates all missile defense personnel report during drills, sir," Carter says, her tone calm but firm, regulations clear in her mind. "Not on my ship," Hargrove growls, blocking her path to the tactical console. "Observer status only." The command center buzzes as the drill begins. A simulated missile barrage approaches, but the response is sluggish, relying on outdated intercept patterns. Carter spots a flaw instantly. "Sir, the grid leaves a blind spot in the northeastern sector," she says, stepping forward. "It's a clear vulnerability." Hargrove's eyes narrow. "I don't need your theories, Commander. My 20 years of command trump your classroom nonsense." The drill proceeds, and as Carter predicted, 3 simulated missiles slip through the exact gap she flagged. The exercise fails. "Run it again," Hargrove orders, dismissing the error. Carter quietly approaches Lieutenant Pierce at his terminal. Adjust the vectors by 14 degrees. It'll close the gap. Pierce glances at Hargrove, then makes the change. The next simulation shows marked improvement. "Who altered the parameters?" Hargrove demands, his voice slicing through the room. Pierce stares at his screen. "I did, sir," Carter says, stepping forward. "It addressed a critical vulnerability in Sector 1. "You're overstepping, Commander," Hargrove snaps. "Keep it up, and you'll be off this ship." As Hargrove turns away, Carter's terminal pings with an encrypted message. "Parameters logged. Monitoring situation. The sender is anonymous, but the security level suggests high-ranking oversight." The next day, a Pentagon delegation arrives, led by Rear Admiral Nathan Cole and civilian contractor Dr. Lena Voss from Raytheon. "We're here to assess the Aegis II system," Cole says. "We understand Commander Carter is leading its integration." Hargrove's smile is strained. "Let's have her prove it." He turns to Carter, stationed at a diagnostic terminal. "Commander, a live fire scenario. 40 incoming targets, decoys, and jamming. Show us what you've got." 90 seconds. Carter recognizes the setup as a deliberate trap, an impossible scenario. Without Omega-level codes, she hasn't been cleared to use here. "Sir, this requires Omega authorization for full countermeasures," she says evenly. "Already with excuses?" Hargrove smirks. "I thought Stanford trained problem solvers." The delegation shifts uncomfortably as Carter steps to the console. Her fingers move swiftly, crafting a partial workaround to showcase capability. Halfway through, Hargrove interrupts. "Let me help our struggling officer," he says, pushing her aside and altering her code. The simulation runs 38 of 40 threats neutralized. "That's leadership," Hargrove declares, claiming credit. "Experience refines." In theory, the delegation nods, impressed. Carter, relegated to serving coffee, moves silently among them. Dr. Voss slips her a card. "Your code was brilliant," she whispers. "Let's talk about your adaptive algorithms later." In her quarters that night, Carter logs the incident in a secure file. Time, witnesses, Hargrove's words. Her phone buzzes with a text from Voss. "He stole your work. Your restraint is remarkable." Carter calls Admiral Langston on a secure line. "He's sabotaging me and compromising the ship," she says. "Document everything," Langston replies. "Send copies to secure servers. You're not alone." In Hargrove's office, he leans back, addressing Ruiz. "Find grounds for her transfer. Insubordination, errors, anything." "Sir, she's outperforming everyone," Ruiz says uneasily. "The crew's using her adjustments behind your back." "Then make it official," Hargrove snaps. "She's undermining my authority." "And what's with her classified projects? Parts of her record are sealed," Ruiz admits. "Something called Project Aegis II, above our clearance." Carter receives another encrypted message. "Eyes on Resolute. Continue mission. Phoenix codes dormant until critical." Her heart races. Phoenix codes, her creation, are the ultimate overrides for Aegis II. Someone at the Pentagon is watching closely. The next morning, Hargrove bars Carter from a classified briefing, citing a sudden clearance downgrade. "Performance issues," he says smugly. Carter checks her file. Fabricated flags from Hargrove accuse her of errors and defiance. In the mess hall, Pierce slips her a data chip. "From the briefing," he whispers, "the radar signatures match your stealth missile predictions from your Stanford paper." Carter reviews the data, her alarm growing. The signatures indicate a hostile fleet testing stealth technology Aegis II was designed to counter. Another encrypted message arrives. Hargrove's changes created vulnerabilities, possible intel breach, threat imminent. During a critical defense exercise, Carter is assigned to inventory duty in Hangar Bay D. She completes it with ruthless efficiency, finishing hours early. On the command deck, the exercise collapses. Hargrove's modified protocols fail, with simulated missiles breaching defenses. Why aren't the interceptors responding? He demands. They're rejecting the overrides, the tactical officer says, voice tight. Carter returns as the simulation ends in failure. Hargrove rounds on her. Did you sabotage this, Commander? No, sir, she replies. I was on inventory as ordered. Then explain why your code. Oh, crashed, he shouts. I'd need the logs, sir, Carter says calmly. Convenient, Hargrove sneers. Confined to quarters pending investigation. In her quarters, a message confirms her fears. Hargrove's changes created a backdoor. Hostile forces accessed it. Real threat incoming. Satellite feeds show the hostile fleet positioning to exploit the vulnerabilities Hargrove introduced. Red alert klaxons blare. Carter's door is locked. Missile signatures are detected. Impact imminent. Using memorized maintenance codes, she overrides the lock and races to secondary command. A final message arrives. Phoenix authorized. Proceed. Guards intercept her. You're restricted, Commander, one says. The ship's defenses are compromised because of Hargrove's changes. Carter says urgently, I can fix it. The deck shakes from a warning shot. The guards hesitate, then lead her to secondary command. On the main deck, chaos erupts. Interceptors aren't launching, the tactical officer shouts. Admiral Langston appears on the main screen. Where is Commander Carter? She demands. Confined for insubordination, Hargrove stammers. You fool, Langston snaps. She's the architect of Aegis II, placed here to evaluate its deployment and your command. In secondary command, Carter activates Phoenix Protocol. The system scans her biometrics. Welcome, Architect Carter, it says. Her fingers fly, restoring her original code. Terminals across the ship reboot, revealing advanced interfaces. Interceptors launch autonomously, forming adaptive patterns that neutralize 45 incoming missiles with precision. Threat neutralized, Carter reports. Systems at full capacity. Langston's voice cuts through. Hargrove, you assaulted the creator of the system that saved your ship. You're relieved of command. The USS Resolute becomes an investigation hub. JAG officers convert Hargrove's office into a deposition room. Carter, now Captain Carter, oversees diagnostics. Crew members who stayed silent apologize. Fear kept us quiet, Pierce admits. You acted when it counted, Carter replies. Admiral Langston arrives, embracing Carter. You exceeded expectations under extreme conditions. The investigation uncovers Hargrove's pattern of bias. Lieutenant Sophia Reyes testifies about being denied promotions due to her unprofessional heritage. Ensign Malik Okoye recounts being sidelined during VIP tours to fit the image. Counterintelligence finds Hargrove's unauthorized communications with unknown parties, possibly manipulated to exploit his prejudices. Hargrove's tribunal is decisive. Video evidence, testimonies, and Carter's meticulous logs leave no defense. You created a security vulnerability, the JAG officer states. Your bias was exploited by adversaries. Guilty on all counts, the presiding admiral declares. Hargrove is dishonorably discharged. 3 months later, Captain Carter unveils the Carter Protocols at the Pentagon, anti-discrimination measures including anonymous reporting, command audits, and bias training. This is about mission readiness, she says. Bias undermines excellence. At the Naval Academy, Hargrove's case is a teaching tool. Prejudice is a security risk, instructors say. Defense contractors, led by Dr. Voss, adopt blind reviews and diversity programs inspired by Carter's experience. On the USS Resolute, Lieutenant Pierce receives the Okoye Courage Award for aiding Carter. Carter's ally is revealed as Captain Nia Thompson, a former officer under Hargrove who faced similar bias. I ensured you had support, Thompson says. Carter leads a fleet-wide task force to eliminate bias. A year later, she commands the USS Valor. her leadership transforming it into a model of efficiency and inclusion. Aegis 2 prevents multiple incidents, earning global adoption. Hargrove, now a low-level consultant, watches news of the Carter protocols with bitterness unchanged. On the USS Valor, Carter mentors young officers. A black female ensign asks how she endured Hargrove. "The mission outlasts the hate," Carter says, "and documentation is your shield." At a Pentagon ceremony, Carter receives the Navy Distinguished Service Medal. Langston whispers, "You've changed the Navy, Aisha." "There's more to do," Carter replies. Addressing recruits, Carter sees hope in their diverse faces. A young black woman says, "You inspired me, Captain." Carter smiles. "Strength is standing firm against injustice. You belong here."